Kentucky's very underrated. You know, it's such an awesome place, and I'm glad that I can kind of show how beautiful it is through my paintings. As a high schooler, I was like, I'm gonna be a wedding planner, I'm gonna be a teacher, and I'm gonna have like a small art business on the side. So going into college, I was wanting to be just elementary teacher, not even art. Started doing all the classes and doing all that kind of stuff, but I was always taking art classes, even still in college. So my advisor was like, Kayla, you've taken like all these art courses, you're still taking art courses, why are you not doing teaching art? And I was like, oh, I didn't even know that was an option here. Like, oh, I can do that. I switched from elementary ed to my own major all by myself to teaching art, mostly because my advisor was like, Kayla, you know you can study abroad if you do this too. I kind of was familiar with, you know, traveling and doing all that kind of stuff, but this was like all by myself and for a long period of time. So it was very scary, really took me out of my comfort zone, but it was the best experience. I think that's what you have to do as an entrepreneur, is to know that like you can do hard things. That's what was so pivotal for me in my journey, is just I've always been in Kentucky, I've always been in Lexington, I never moved anywhere, and that was really exciting to branch out. And it was, you know, obviously terrifying to be in another country all alone with no friends and not knowing anyone, but it was the best experience. I just never thought I could just be an artist at that young of an age. Started painting like horse type things. One of my coworkers asked me to paint a big horse racing commission. Started with that, she wanted it really colorful. So that's kind of where like I was experimenting with adding crazy colors into the horses, and that's where my style kind of got figured out. And I really started focusing on business and growing my brand, and I made a website. I started doing markets where I was selling, you know, my artwork and everything. I started making prints, so that was a huge turning point because I could take something I'd painted one time and reproduce it, you know, hundreds of times, which was a huge moneymaker. And I was like, wow, I can actually, people are buying these, this is great. Like, I can do markets now because I have inventory that I can sell. Being able to produce prints and have my work get out there more was a huge turning point for sure. About 2018, I switched from being full-time to 0.8. They took my schedule teaching and crammed it all into 4 days, and I got 1 day off a week. And then just that 1 day off, I was able to like get so much done. I was able to promote like my brand so much more, and I was making like enough to cover my income for 2 weeks. I put my resignation in that May, so I was done teaching, and I cried and cried. Not like because I was scared, I was just sad because it was like such a big part of my life. But I was like, I can do this, I got this, you know, just go for it. My parents were very supportive too also, so they own a garden center, landscape, and then a wedding venue. They said, why don't you like move your once you quit, move your studio to the property, and you can kind of help with weddings and events, and that can kind of be an additional income if things start to go south. So I was in the other studio from August 2018, and then, you know, a month or two, I started having interns and a couple like paid employees that would come and help me with things. And like just having the two of us in there, we were like busting out of that little area. So we started talking about building a new studio. Didn't really get anything into motion until 2020. That was like the most exciting thing of all time. But that was probably the scariest thing about quitting. Had nothing compared to building an enormous studio that was a lot of money. I knew it was like the next step I had to take to grow my business. I just needed like obviously more space, and we needed storage, and we needed a little area for retail, and a place that people can come and shop and see my art and see me in action painting, and a place that I could host workshops and have just, you know, events and all kinds of stuff. So we knew that that was the step we had to move towards to continue this dream. I think in my mind this was always what I wanted, was just tons of wall space, tons of big windows, lots of natural light. As a high schooler, I was like, I'm gonna be a wedding planner, I'm gonna be a teacher, and I'm gonna have like a small art business on the side. So at 17, I kind of like planned my whole life out, and I actually ended up doing all those things. which is kind of crazy. Yeah, I wish I could go back and be like, hey, you can just be an artist if you want. Like if you just want to go for that as soon as you get into college. But then, you know, I think the journey is what's the, you know, neatest part is that I got to still impact a lot of students and kids. And it just all works out the way it's supposed to, and it's crazy. I wish I could just go back and be like, hey, you were smart. You had it all figured out. You knew exactly what you wanted to do, and you set your mind to it, and you know, went for it. I want to inspire people just to like go after their dreams and go and do things that they don't think is possible. I mean, obviously, like I said, when I was younger, I didn't think you could just be an artist. I thought you had to, that was just kind of the side fun thing that you can do. So I guess just inspiring people to do what you love so that your work never feels like work.
Hey, Mommy.
Oh.
Hi, Mommy.
That's the goal, right? Just be able to live and work and do what you love every day, and then it never feels like a job.